Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to another Flossy collection video. This is of course the Socialite collection, as lots of you who follow us on social media will have already seen, and oh my goodness, the feedback that we have had on these dresses so far. I just feel like we top it every single time. It's also our first festive, Christmassy, real party wear collection, and I'm so excited because party dresses are just in my bones. I know party dresses, and in like usual collections that are supposed to be day-to-day dresses, I find I really have to hold myself back from the things that my heart really wants to do, but in this collection I did not have to hold back. And I'm just beside myself with excitement because I truly feel that these are the flossiest. When you think of the true like essence of Flossy, these are the flossiest dresses we've ever done. So as you know, with previous collections, they've all had kind of a character. So we've had the Queen Bee, the Debutante, the Angelina, the Mademoiselle, and this time we of course have the Socialite. And that basically means to me just like a social butterfly, like someone who goes to lots of events and parties and dances and is the star of the show, the belle of the ball, sipping champagne, like everyone just wants to be her. And I really wanted the dresses to just give you that little boost and that confidence to be that person. The dresses are all absolutely perfect for the festive season, but I also didn't want to create dresses that you could only wear at one time period in the year. So even though they all kind of really lean into Christmas a little with like the bows and just like the fun nature of them, they will make amazing Christmas party, Christmas Day dresses, New Year's Eves, but equally they will also be amazing birthday party dresses in the summer. Except maybe the black velvet actually. Also, just before I get started talking about the dresses, in case you didn't already know, we are in the middle of our big Black Friday sale at Flossy, so literally everything is up to 50% off, excluding the new collection of course, but it does include our most recent ensemble, the Mary Jane Skirt, which we've just restocked, and you do get an extra 10% off if you purchase more than one item. This will all end next week and everything will go back up to full price, so if there was something that you had your eye on throughout this year, now is definitely the time to snap it up. So I will start off with the dress that I'm wearing right now. This is the Delila dress. I sometimes forget about this dress, if I'm honest, because I feel like out of the 5, it's the most low-key, but then every time I put it on, I'm just like, wow. The shape of this dress is unbelievable. You'll see when I do my try-on clip, but this gorgeous like white boucle we've used holds its shape so well. So we've got these really beautiful like statement puff sleeves, a really gorgeous like tapered in waist. It's really not tight. Like I wear a small and there's so much kind of room to breathe in it. It's so comfortable, but it still looks really lovely and flattering at the waist. And then the skirt sits in this absolutely stunning, really subtle A-line shape. And like I said, it just holds its shape so well. So no matter how you're walking or moving, it still kind of sits in that lovely silhouette. We were actually really lucky when sampling this dress because the factory that I work with, I think, are becoming more and more just like understanding and aligned with my mind and my vision. And they pretty much got the shape like spot on the first time. We were all just like, oh my God. But the one thing that we did have trouble with, honestly, until the very last minute, was the bows. So when I originally designed this dress, the bows, which are black velvet, by the way, had little tails. And I just thought that would look really cute, but like every sample we kept on like changing the style of the bows because I was just like, it's not right. It looks really messy, it looks really weird, it looks really busy, like what is going on? And then literally out of frustration, we were getting very close to the time that like we needed to be approving the design. And I was like, can someone just give me some scissors? And I basically cut all of the tails off the bows and we were all just like, oh my God. That was what we needed to do. I'll put a picture on so you guys can see the difference between the bows having tails and not having tails, and just like how it totally transformed the dress. And I just don't understand actually why it took me that long to realize. The thing that I really love about this dress is how wearable it is. Like, yes, this is a party dress with some like cute black sparkly tights and heels and a cute little clutch bag, but then I also do not think it's too high key to wear more casually as well. Another thing I absolutely love about this dress is how honestly comfortable it is to wear. Like I said, it's fitted around the waist, but it's not tight. There's lots of room to breathe. And also the sleeves, like they look tight on the arm, but they're really not. There's so much room and that's also an elasticated sleeve as well, which is satin lined, so it's not going to itch or like rub on your skin. It's a very beautiful thick boucle fabric, but we have lined it in our gorgeous satin, so it's lovely and soft on the skin. I also love how the black accent bows mean you can actually wear black tights with this and it looks okay, because you guys know I have a big problem with wearing light colored clothing and then just like sticking on black tights, and it just totally ruins the look because it looks disjointed. But when you have a little black detail or accent, it just kind of ties the whole thing together. So you can do black tights and boots for more like casual day look, and a black headband, or even like a half up, half down with a black velvet bow to match. Like, oh my God, it's just so gorgeous. I've had a couple of questions about this already. It's not sparkly. So the boucle is quite plain. I'll try and show you guys a close up. It does have little flecks of kind of like a satin in it. So it has like a very slight kind of sheen in some lights, but not a sparkle, which is another reason I think it works really well as more of like a daytime glamour dress. It's a really beautiful thick boucle fabric, which just keeps you really nice and warm, but we have also lined it in our gorgeous satin, so it's comfortable and soft on the skin and not itchy and not see-through, nice and thick and luxurious. And of course, like all of our other Flossy dresses, there is a concealed zip at the back that goes down really nice and low, so you can always step in to your dress rather than having to put it over your head, ruin the hair and makeup, risk getting stuck, taking it off, which is the worst. So yes, I absolutely adore this dress. It is so flattering and feminine and classic. It's fun and girly, but it's also elegant and quite understated. I say with puff sleeves and 3 bows, but you know, understated for me. Okay, so next, I could not go another minute without talking about the Tallulah dress. Yes, this is somewhat also named after my sister. Tallulah is her middle name. When she saw this collection of dresses, she picked this one out instantly and was like, oh my God, that is a must-have. And I have to agree, of course. Now, I think like out of all the dresses, this one is probably the most exciting. It has a few cool hidden features that I'm really proud of. So first of all, the basics, we've got this really beautiful, like really thick, luxurious satin fabric. It's a very structured satin. It's not floaty or flippy. When you feel it, I promise you, you will just be like, oh my gosh, the quality of this is incredible. It's so heavy. It's also completely fully lined in satin as well, which is really beautiful. We've got our classic cinched waist with this really beautiful like full skirt with these gathered pleats that we actually did a few variations of the pleats on this skirt. We did like box pleats. I think the first sample had box pleats and I wasn't super keen. I kind of wanted these gathers. And then I think the next sample had too many gathers and it was just like too much. It kind of didn't look right. So we eventually got here. It does also have pockets, which I know will please many people. It's still kind of a mystery to me, but I like to give the people what they want. They are very nice and deep as well, and they don't add any extra bulk to the hip area at all, which, as you guys know, is my biggest problem with pockets on dresses. It's just like, do not bulk me out around the hip. Do not add any extra fabric that doesn't need to be there. But these are so concealed and so flat, like you would honestly never know that they were there. The dress is also backless. Well, it's kind of backless. It's not fully backless, but it just has this little opening at the back, which is obviously very beautiful, very glamorous, but some people do have an issue with that then because they feel like they can't wear a bra. So we've tried to mitigate that as much as possible, and we've actually added in these padded breast cups. So you know the things that are in your sports bras. So they are sewn in to the dress, which just gives them like a really nice little shape to sit in. And then we've also got these little seams under the bust as well. So it's not like a full support the way a bra would be, but it's also just like a little something to kind of put them in place and give your chest a nice shape. I know for the really, really fuller bust girls, sometimes a backless dress just isn't possible, but I think we've tried to help you as much as we can. And at the end of the day, if you need to wear a bra, just get one that has like a clear plastic back. Like, it's really not a big deal. No one else is going to notice or care. And I really don't think it should be something that stops you wearing a dress that you absolutely love. So that's just my opinion. The most exciting thing though about the Tallulah dress is of course the beautiful statement bow on the back. And let me tell you guys, this was a task. It really was, because I had a vision of something that I wanted for this dress. I really wanted this bow to be detachable, just to give people the option in case they felt like the bow made it a little bit too much for them, or if like maybe on some occasions they wanted to wear this dress a little bit more low-key. And when I was designing the dress, I actually had two options, and one was the bow there at the waist, and the other was the bow at the nape of the neck with the tails kind of falling down the back. And I just could not decide. And in the end, I said, okay, we need to be able to attach the bow in both places. And this was honestly a little bit easier said than done. We had to come up with the actual mechanism of how you were going to attach the bow in both places without any sign of an attachment on the outside of the dress, but also in a way that kept the bow sitting in a really good place, not flopping, not kind of tipping one way or the other. But I eventually got there. So I'm going to show you guys how to detach and reattach the bow. So just here at the bottom of our backless section, where this gap hits the waist, on the inside, there are two little kind of like invisible clear buttons. And on the bow, there are two very small elastic bands that you can attach round the buttons. So right now they're obviously attached, and I'm just going to pull the elastics off the buttons. So there's our bow, and there is our dress sombo. And as you can see, there is absolutely no trace here that anything is missing. And then you just attach it exactly the same way. So you can see here is this lovely double button fastening at the nape of the neck for the halter neck style, and the attachment buttons are just behind this. So I would recommend pulling the little elastics through the middle of those two fabric covered buttons, just so it sits in like a really nice place. And then you just attach the elastics to the buttons in the exact same way. And this is what it looks like with the bow at the neck, which is so, so pretty. It honestly looks stunning with an updo. If you're having your hair up, and then this at the nape of the neck with the tails just like flowing down your back, hitting the waist, which is gorgeous. And I've also just thought, if you were concerned about a bra strap showing, this actually completely covers the backless section. So that's actually really handy. And I love how you kind of get like 3 dresses in one with this. It's a little bit like our Gigi and Giselle dresses from the summer. You could wear the bows in different places or just not at all. And you kind of feel like you're getting different outfits from one dress. And in terms of getting in and out of the dress, we have our very concealed zip down the side of this one. This is easily one of my favorite dresses we've ever done. It's just so perfect, so fun, so girly, so unapologetic. It's also incredibly classic. You just could not really tell, I think, like what era this dress has come from. It's just so timelessly fun. On some of the shots on the shoot, we actually added a little petticoat underneath this. I actually really toyed with the idea of it having a built-in petticoat to really give it that kind of sticky out tutu shape, but I just felt like people would prefer to have the option whether to wear it like that or not, because it kind of just adds to the drama and to the flair of it. And some people would probably prefer to keep it a little bit more low-key, like it still has a gorgeous shape, but with the petticoat it really, really makes it stick out. But it really is so perfect, so twirl-worthy, and definitely, again, I think a party dress that is appropriate all year round while still really being able to lean into the festive season. Okay, I actually couldn't go another minute without talking about the Annabelle dress. I just don't have the words. Like, honestly, controversially, I think this might be my favorite dress in the collection. Are you seeing this? A black flossy dress. I personally never thought that I would see the day. In fact, I remember at the very start of all of this, about 3 years ago now, or is it 4 years ago? I said no black. The color black is banned from Flossy, and now look where we are. So if that's not character development, I don't know what is. I just have to say how much I love this dress. I think it's the most chic, sophisticated, you know, sipping champagne at the Plaza Hotel in New York after seeing the Rockettes at Radio City Music Hall, kind of like vintage New York, but Hollywood at the same time, glamour, socialite dress I've ever seen. And every so often with flossy dresses, even though I obviously love every single dress that I've done, there comes along a dress or a vision that basically really is coming from like little Freddie somewhere that really wanted this dress when they were little, or saw like my older self wearing a dress like that, if that makes sense. And that's exactly what this dress is, which is why I love it so much. And honestly guys, from the very, very start, like when I first envisioned this dress, everyone on my team, including like my family, who are not on my team, but they're in my team by proxy, doubted me. Nobody liked it. Nobody could get their head around the idea of it. They were just like, that sounds a bit weird. When the first sample came, I put it on, walked into the room with my team, and my mum was there as well, and literally everybody burst out laughing. I will show you the picture. It was really bad. They sent it in brown, which it's not like uncommon for them to send it in a different color for a first or second sample, but the skirt was like so stuck out. The fur trim was massive. The buttons were huge. It honestly just looked like Mother Christmas. I really, really kept the faith, even though everyone was kind of like, shall we just like ditch this dress? And I was like, no, we have to do this dress. Like, this is going to be amazing. So we made the buttons smaller, the fur trim smaller, and really brought that skirt in. So it was a more like fitted, slightly A-line shape rather than a kind of full skater, sticky out style, which just did not work. And slowly but surely, the Annabelle dress is now everyone's favorite, which is what happened with the Darcy dress last year. Everyone saw that fabric and they were like, are you crazy? Like, this is not gonna work. And then it ended up being the first dress to sell out in that collection. So people really need to start trusting me, to be honest, but I just can't get over how fabulous this dress is. So it's obviously in this gorgeous, really lovely black velvet. We've got our beautiful signature pearl buttons with a actual button placket. So it looks like the dress is button up, but these are not actually functional. The dress has a zip, a classic concealed zip, which is practically invisible going down the back. And the reason I didn't want this to be a button down dress is because the air is always going to get in through those gaps, and I really wanted this to be something that we could wear and actually be warm. And also the buttons are quite thick and quite heavy, and it just runs the risk of the buttons falling off, like when you are constantly opening it and closing it. This has happened to lots of my coats that have nice buttons, and I'm constantly having to sew them back on, and it's really annoying, and I just wanted this dress to be easy and low maintenance. So that's the reason for that. We've obviously got a really nice subtle shape. It is accentuated at the waist, but again, it's not tight. It's really like breathable. There's lots of room to move around in it, and also a really subtle A-line shape as well. So it's not like stiff on the body. You can move, you can dance, you can just be comfortable, which is such a big thing for me. And of course, to finish it off, we have the absolutely beautiful white faux fur trim. Guys, I'm telling you, this feels as soft as Cindy. It's incredible. And then the whole thing is lined in really lovely soft satin. We really don't miss a detail. And guys, I'm just so in love and obsessed with this dress. I think it's incredibly chic. It's so unique. I just really don't think you can find something like this anywhere else. Like, it's giving Eloise at the Plaza, it's giving Annie in New York when she's got her new dress from Daddy Warbucks. I told you this dress was like scratching a childhood itch somewhere, but I really think it's so grown up, but so fun, and like, you'd be wearing this and everyone would just look at you and think, oh my gosh, where is that dress from? Next up, we have the exquisite Daisy dress. I just can't cope with how adorable this dress is, and I'm very excited about it because, as you can see, it's a very new silhouette for us. It doesn't have a cinched in waist, so we've done this really cute, girly, fun drop waist, which is actually how I came to the name Daisy. I was thinking of like kind of 1920s. I arrived at the Great Gatsby, Daisy Buchanan, and then also my best friend is called Daisy. So I'm really happy that we finally have a dress named after her, because she actually got engaged in September wearing the Marie dress from my summer collection. She's a Flossy girl, and this dress, honestly, I think was the quickest one to approve. It was pretty much perfect from the get-go. The fabric is absolutely incredible. It's the same really heavyweight, thick, luxurious satin as the Tula dress. It's got this fabulous high neck that isn't tight on the neck, but it kind of sits and stands a little bit out, which gives it this really gorgeous, just vintage, glamorous look. And then of course, the little pink statement bow at the neck, which is just so perfect, so cute and fun. I think this was the dress that I posted like a really vague teaser of on my stories, like I think in the summer, and everyone was going crazy. Like the replies in my DMs to that story were insane. So if you saw that story, this is the dress. I just love the little frill hem with the pink trim that ties in with what's going on up here. Like it's so simple, but so pretty. And again, just so comfortable, especially that there's literally no waist on this dress. Like it's the most freeing, lovely, comfortable dress to move in, to dance in. Again, another invisible zip that goes down really fast. You can just step in and out of this dress, fully lined, of course, with satin. So it's lovely and soft on the skin, completely opaque as well, like no see-through moments. The fabric is so thick and so opaque that you could literally wear black underwear underneath this and you wouldn't see. Oh my gosh, I just think it's the perfect party dress, like with a little pink strappy heel and a cute little clutch bag. Like it is absolutely heaven. And again, I feel like you can lean into the festive season with this because of the bow, but also this is a gorgeous party dress for all year round. It's just so unique, so special. I think it has such a high-end feel, but it's also like understated enough that you don't feel like you're doing too much, like you're doing just enough. We had this, and actually of course all of the dresses, on 4 different sizes on our shoot. So we had double extra small, small, which is me, and then we also had medium and double extra large, and it just looked fabulous on everyone, as you can see from all of the images on the website and social media. I just really desperately want to create dresses that everybody looks and feels beautiful in. And honestly guys, usually a drop waist is not the thing that I feel amazing in, but I feel so gorgeous and feminine and fabulous in this dress. And I just hope you guys love her too. So now for our final dress, and yes, it's kind of become a thing now for me to include something for the midi girls. So here we have the Margot dress. This is definitely my favorite midi dress that we've done so far. It really is so beautiful, and this dress took the longest to get correct because of this whole off the shoulder situation at the top. So the dress is strapless, but it's kind of held up by these off the shoulder panels here. And this just took a lot of fiddling around with. Like, it was nothing major, but it was just really teeny tiny tweaks we were doing every time just to make sure that this was comfortable, that it would actually stay up. So on the inside, all the way around, it's got this, like, it's not sticky, but it's this kind of like silicone tape that sort of just attaches to your skin. It like sticks to your skin without being sticky, if that makes sense. And then you've got the beautiful bow on the front as well, and this whole section is made from the same gorgeous, heavyweight, thick, luxurious satin. The bodice of the dress is really beautiful. It's so flattering. It has boning on both the front and back to kind of give it this really structured, almost corset-y ball gown feel. The fabric is quite hard to describe, and that was another reason for the delay as well, because I was desperate to find something that kind of had a little bit of a sheen, so it felt like an evening dress and not something that you would wear in the daytime. Like, I didn't want to mistake this for a summer dress, but I also didn't want satin. I didn't want it to be shiny. I felt like I wanted to keep it looking really elegant and not too over the top. And also we had 2 satin dresses already, but we finally found the perfect fabric. And I don't know if you guys can see in this light that very subtle sheen on the pink. Like, it's not shiny, it's not satiny, but it just has this really lovely like glow, and it just feels really lovely and luxurious. It's soft, it's heavy, it's a really lovely fabric in this gorgeous like soft dusky pink. This dress also has pockets, which again are just completely undetectable. They don't add any bulk into the hip area. It's a really beautiful, what they call ballerina length skirt, so it kind of hits at this really gorgeous place on your leg that makes it almost like a 1950s silhouette, especially the way that we've added all of this beautiful lining, including a petticoat. So this is the inside of the dress. It's lined with satin, just so it's nice and lovely and soft on your actual skin and you don't feel the scratch of the tulle. We've got a really gorgeous tulle petticoat that starts off one layer and then graduates to a double layer at the bottom to add that shape, so it's not bulky at the top, but it kind of bulks out at the bottom and gives you that perfect like 1950s A-line silhouette. Then another layer of satin lining over the top of that, and that's all going on in the skirt, and it really does just give it the perfect shape and like twirlability. Like when you twirl in this dress, it's perfection. I just think it's the most elegant dress in the world. It's definitely the most elegant dress that I own in my wardrobe. It's so beautifully timeless. I love that 1950s silhouette and the Bardo style. It's very Audrey Hepburn. It's very like going to gala night at the ballet. I also just think it's the perfect amount of understated. Like there's not tons of stuff going on, but what is going on is so thought out and so pretty that it makes such an impact without screaming like, look at me, I'm the most embellished, over the top, loud dress here, you know? And I just think it's so difficult to find dresses that have this like timeless glamour and elegance. As you know, that's what Flossy is all about, like those beautiful pieces that you just can't find anywhere else to this standard of quality. So yes, I really hope you midi girls love the midi dress I made for you. And this is definitely, I think, my favorite midi dress that we've ever done. So everyone, that is the full Socialite collection. I am absolutely dying to hear your thoughts. I mean, the Instagram comments have been wonderful, but I always feel like my YouTube audience are just a little bit more invested, and you guys really take your time with your comments to me, which I appreciate so much. I love reading them. So please do let me know what you think and which dresses are your favorite. Remember, when you get them, they all come in this absolutely beautiful box with this ribbon that I think is just such a nice keepsake to have. I know lots of you guys collect your Flossy boxes. Also, please do not forget to take advantage of our Black Friday sale this week. We've already sold out of the Leslie dress. We had quite good stock of the Leslie dress and it's completely sold out. The Darcy dress we have, but it's running low. The Cindy cape we have, but it's running really low. The autumn winter ensemble is flying, and yes, although it's a permanent collection and we will restock it, unlike the limited edition dresses, it takes time to restock, and I don't know if we'll have a restock before the end of the year. So if you want it for this winter, now is the time to get it. Thank you guys so much for watching and taking part. I appreciate it so much, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.